I mean,
It'll be less, yeah.
$2.
I haven't shot.
Pay those jacks.
I know.
Oh, Christine was on Zoom late, but I think they were discussing.
Yeah, she's urgent care.
We don't even really use.
Are you ready? All right, well, good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock now. Welcome to the March 21st, 2024 meeting for town council meeting. You would join me, please, saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't see any of our pastors here. If anybody want to volunteer to do the invocation, if not, we'll just take a moment and say your thoughts and prayers in your own mind. Okay, I know all of you have received a copy of the last meeting minutes. I'll look for a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve March 7th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Are there any questions or additions or corrections to it? I'll look for a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Christina, can you hear us?
Yeah. Fine.
Okay, so you said the minutes were fine. Okay, thank you. All right, public comment. Do you have a sheet?
I just want to make some.
All right, Mr. Wright, you're first.
I didn't put there I wanted to speak. I just.
You're just here. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Hello.
Yeah. Mr. Mason.
Just for the record, I invited Anton's lawyer, since you guys said there's no judgments against the town, so let's go on record with that, for $5 million between the 3 towns. So I actually invited the lawyer. Lawyer probably won't show up. She's from Baltimore, so. But the last town meeting, you guys said basically I was full of crap. Yeah, there's no judgments against the town or any of this kind of stuff when there's a $5 million lawsuit against you guys. And it's ongoing, by the way.
Well, I'm going to stop.
Hold on. I want to say something as well.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
First of all, my name is Christina Robinson. My son was best friends with Anton Black. When you spoke in the town meeting, you did not act against the town. You said that the town was paying Officer Webster $1,000 for a severance package, which we told you that was the only thing. You didn't ask about a judgment. You didn't ask about Anton, because to some of us, Anton is more than just something to incite the town about. Us were very involved and affected by that case. And if you had questions about that case or that lawsuit, you could have brought that up. That's not what you said, and that's not what we answered to on the record. And that is public record, so we can put that any time. And that's all I'd like to say about that matter, because Renee is perfectly capable of taking them there.
I couldn't understand one word she said, so I don't care.
I think she said at last meeting during public comment, you mentioned that the town paid a settlement to Thomas Webster, and that's what she was responsive to in advising that the town did not make a settlement to Thomas Webster. And I think in response to the Public Information Act request, there is no judgment against the town. There is a settlement agreement of which the town is one of the parties,
Correct.
which is not a judgment.
Okay. but you acknowledge that the town messed up. But last town meeting though, when I said something about the
No, last town meeting, you said that the town paid Thomas Webster a settlement.
$230,000.
Right.
The town did not pay Thomas
And you
Webster.
guys also said this incident happened in Dover when it actually happened right across from the Sable lot. But we can move on from this
No,
because.
Nobody said that.
I don't want to move
You did.
from this.
Perfect, great.
I want
I got the
you to.
information.
The city of Dover paid a judgment to Thomas Webster for the incident in Dover.
It's
That is
separate.
public record.
Okay, but the incident here happened across from Sable lot.
That is
Correct.
correct.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely
And
correct.
there is a judgment and it's ongoing. There's
No,
ongoing.
No,
so
You have
there's
no
a
judgment
settlement.
against
It's actually in the Superior Court right now.
It's not a
No, it's
judgment.
But hopefully the next town meeting, I'll bring his lawyer with me. I've already invited her.
I think there's-
Hopefully she'll come.
Well, 1 second. You have not contacted me. I was the attorney for Anton Black from beginning to end. So whoever he's talking with, I'm not part of that. I have no knowledge of that. That's not why I'm here tonight.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're a different attorney, so. All right, so you want to move on from that? Because I have a couple I have a couple questions actually. Again, there's more questions than answers. Still haven't heard anything about the water. You know, I guess you guys sent a test out or something. I'm not really sure. People asking questions about the water, the quality of the water. the
They sent out a
testing.
report in the water bill.
Okay, I didn't get that because it was online, so I guess I didn't get that. I just
No,
got the
they're,
bill.
they're gonna be sent to people that are online.
Okay. Any word on the grant that was supposed to happen March, this month?
Which one? The 5 million?
Yeah, it's like more like 10 million, $10.5 million.
That's what we requested. We received 5 million.
So you did receive 5 million of that 10 million.
We will be receiving it for the expansion project.
Perfect. So, again, not really sure where to begin, so I'll just throw off a couple things here. Looking at the 2024 budget in the FOIL request. You guys are making more money. Okay, you're making more money. $45,000 in property taxes went up, $3,000 in personal property taxes, franchise tax, I mean, all this stuff, like, a lot of stuff's gone up. But the number that you guys show, so like last year you made 1.5 million, this year you're 1,247,000, so everything went up, but your revenue went down. That doesn't make any sense to me, especially when the numbers are right here in front of me. Just throwing that out there. Sucks Lennox isn't here, but I understand he's busy. Looking over like some of this general operating costs and police budgets and stuff. I hope these really are projected numbers, because this is absolutely insane. Like seriously, two cops, and, I mean, I get you guys are projecting having, sergeant, corporal, all this other stuff, I totally understand that. But his budget's insane.
That's the existing budget.
No, this is 2024,
Correct.
yeah,
That's what we're in.
yeah,
So that is
so he
now,
has this money,
that is the budget.
wow, that's a hell of a budget for a police department with a town of 2,000 people. That's a hell of a budget, I'm serious. What's that?
in one top.
Well, we got two cops, give him credit, we got two cops.
And when you ask for a water bill, they give it to you for 20.
Well, I have one person.
That is how it goes. Next one that comes out will be 2023.
Early, right?
Early, yeah.
This is 2024.
They are for the prior year. So
You
2023,
said it'll come out in 2024.
2022 came out. We're in 2024, 2023 will
When
come
I'm
out.
requesting a water report to see what contaminants are in the water, to justify my bill going up $100 and something, I get a 2022 report. What is this, what use is this to me?
Are you listening?
No, are you listening?
You
What
are
use is
not
this? No.
listening. 2024.
So how's that gonna help my water bill
Stop,
now?
I said stop.
What does this have?
I said stop. Mr. Mason has the floor, not you. We'll only have one person speaking at a time. If you can't control yourself, I will ask you to leave the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Like I was saying, I apologize. The police budget, I think is absolutely insane. Two cops, all that stuff. I get it. Maybe they're trying to grow the police force. I understand that. I run $30-40 million projects for the Navy, okay? And I run a division out of DC that runs projects and we buy IT, the whole 9 yards. I spend like $15,000 a year. Like seriously, on my budget for this, right? Computer and internet's 10 grand. Communication utilities, 25,500. for a police department, all I'm saying is the numbers don't make sense, and when something doesn't make sense, there's something there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not pointing fingers or accusing or anything like that. All I'm saying is
Can I
that's a really high budget
Can I
for a
ask a
police
question?
department. Absolutely.
Will you be present during the budget hearing so that you can participate?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, 'cause I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist or nothing like that, or I'm not an accountant or nothing like that. But when I look at the numbers from 2023, I look at the 2024 numbers, and you do a side-by-side comparison. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Now, granted, I understand expenses go up, contracts go up, all kinds of, I understand all that stuff. So, yeah.
Can I say something? But I'm-
No, Mr. Mason has the floor right
I
now.
know, I was agreeing
It
with.
doesn't make me, well, I'm only having one person speak at a time.
Make a comment, that's all.
And I understand the whole thing, maybe with the town of Green or Goldsboro. I mean, I personally think the town of Goldsboro is a loss. I don't really think you might make much money. I think they're like an Achilles heel of the town of Greensboro. That's my personal opinion. I'm just putting my piece out there. I think they're an Achilles heel. If they want their own water treatment, their own sewer plant, all that stuff, let them carry the cost of it. We don't really make any money off them, honestly. They're, like I said, they're an Achilles heel from Greensboro. I'm sorry that they live in Goldsboro. That's not my problem. My taxes, whatever, I don't really care. But anyway, so I look at the public works expenditures. And the one thing I noticed right off the bat, and I don't know if the RFP has been signed or not, for the water treatment and the contractual obligations.
No, so the RFP went out, they are due responses April 2nd.
Yeah, so. I mean, contractual last year, 4,897, under contractual. For actually, this is the 2024, right? So we went from last year, 4,897 to 175,200. That's a big number. That's a big jump. Again, I don't know. I mean, I got the numbers right here. If you can see them. This is your guys' FOIA request.
So here's the deal, Mr. Mason. We are not prepared to answer all of your
Yeah, I know.
questions.
I get it.
Let me talk, please.
Yeah.
We're not prepared to answer your questions tonight. When you come up with these, we're off the cuff and ask us a question. We don't have this floating around in our head. If you want a specific question answered, you send it to us. We will get the information and provide it back to you. But we're not gonna give it to you tonight. We just don't have it.
No, I understand. You're the mayor, right? But you weren't the last meeting. All right, yeah, in all fairness, I don't expect you guys to have all the answers to all these questions. Again, I'm just going through stuff. I look at stuff, I research stuff. I like to know what's going on. The thing that started all this with me was the water bill going up. I personally think that's absolute BS, but we can get into that later. But again, so let's just take public works expenditures here, okay? So the expenses go down, okay? All the expenses go down, but the salary jumps from 60,000 down to 95,000. How does that make any logical sense? So you're basically paying someone an extra $35,000 a year, and the expenses for the park go down, but you're paying someone $35,000 more? Make that make sense to me. I don't know. Again, I'm not saying you guys have to have the answer. I'm just looking at this stuff and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense.
If you have time and want to come in and give me questions, I'd be happy to sit with you.
Yeah, I would love to just go over this stuff. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and beat you guys up. I mean, I got you guys a salary and all that stuff. Good for you guys. It's a small town, but some of you guys deserve it. Some people don't, it's my opinion. But I definitely think that you guys should, like, the town of Goldsboro, man, like, again, I don't wanna like badmouth them or nothing like that, but they're really an Achilles heel on the Greensboro. I just don't even understand why you guys care. I understand the whole reason for the grant and, getting this water treatment plant, and you're tied into them, all this kind of stuff. More people, more revenue, totally get it. But when you talk about, I don't wanna use Biden because he's an idiot, but talk about someone that sits there and says, pay your fair share. I mean, you really think Goldsboro pays their fair share? Just being truthful. I mean, I hate to say it because they're probably great people over there, but this is the town of Greensboro. I live in Greensboro.
Anything else?
I see your face when you said you're talking about Goldsboro, you just roll your eyes. I know you feel the same way I do.
No, that is an agreement that took place long before us and it's unfortunately, we're bound
Shut it
by,
off.
we're bound by it.
For
Unfortunately,
how long,
grant
for how long?
forever.
You bound by it forever?
Yeah, we're going further north. That's what grant
Yeah,
money's
correct me
gonna
if
go.
I'm wrong, wasn't that due to the state saying the failing septic systems above us?
You had a wastewater treatment plant that was failing, and in addition to that, Goldsboro had failing septic systems that they needed to take offline and get a treatment plant. There was not enough grant funds available for you to upgrade your own treatment plant, and there were not enough grant funds available for Greensboro to construct their own. So the way the town of Greensboro maximize your grant dollars was by extending to Goldsboro, because then it would be more eligible for grant funds.
So in 2018, when this whole thing came about in the first place for the first water treatment plant, phase 1 or whatever it was, town of Goldsboro backed out of it, did they not?
I
Oh,
don't,
no.
No, Henderson.
Henderson did?
No,
But the
they didn't get enough funding,
The
so.
funding dried up.
But
They
still,
couldn't do it.
I mean, it sounded like online old research you do, it sounded like they basically like pulled it up on you guys. Almost like it's your guys' problem, not ours. We did, whatever, don't have to fund, whatever.
But we're not responsible.
But we're expanding north. But we're expanding north. Are we gonna pick up Henderson?
We're only going to go, and if they get the funding,
Okay. Again,
But the more we go north, then we can charge more, which will actually lower our rates some, because then we're putting the cost on them. We're the primary user right now.
no, I get that, but
So-
you also have to understand that with a bigger plant comes more cost, more maintenance,
Correct.
all that other stuff
Right,
too.
more people to run it.
So again, yeah, more people to run it, round the ship maybe, things like that, more, integrated systems, automation, things like that. I mean, there's things just in this, like, again, some of these budget things I think are crazy. It's contracts that are set up maintenance wise and things like that. Again, I'm not blaming you guys. You guys, I'm sure, I promise you guys are picking up trash from previous people. Totally understand that, because I'm not stupid. I can look back and research things and look at old budgets and all this kind of stuff. I totally understand. I'm not pointing the fingers at you guys. Not 100% anyway, but you guys can make a positive going forward. Because I mean, I'm just gonna be truthful with all you, and whoever was on this board or the mayor before or whatever, they were trash. I mean, honestly, I don't care if they're your relatives, I don't care if you're related to them, I don't care who they were. Board members, if you got elected, not elected, I don't care, they were trash, they did nothing for this town. All they did was take money, they tried to grow the town in a negative way, so they could get more revenues on their paychecks and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, it's craziness. So hopefully going forward, you guys can make some better decisions for the town, the people of the town going forward. That's all I gotta say.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just have a couple of comments. My first comment is that we have too many errors in communicating with the town and the citizens of Greensboro.
I'm sorry.
First. I'm sorry,
We can't hear you.
there are too many errors in communications with the town and the citizens of Greensboro. First, the agenda for tonight's meeting was not listed on the webpage. Second, the town's webpage states under the section of upcoming meetings, tonight's meeting would be at 7 p.m. But then when you look further on the town's webpage, the calendar says tonight's meeting is at 6. So I guess it's who you want to attend will know when to attend. And I feel that this is unacceptable and the citizens of Greensboro deserve better.
Yeah.
Second, today's notice of e-billing of water bills. I found your statement in the notice that you are attempting to reduce costs is disingenuous at best, especially in light of what I'm hearing in the community that this council is currently engaged in conversations concerning creating a new paid position for a non-essential position in order to replace a grant that is about to expire so that you all can hire one of your own. And that particular action is something that has been repeated before, where once someone sits on this council, they then find a way to fire an existing personnel so that they can then take that position. I feel it's very disingenuous and it's dishonest. Your form that you sent gives the citizens of Greensboro two choices. It says you can provide your email address and
We're not. Well, aren't you the town office? You're supposed to know when there's police on duty. You should know their schedule. But there wasn't, so Dawn got in touch with him, I guess. He called me half hour later. Karen, I just want you to know, I saw the video, and guess what? You didn't dump no trash. I said, I know I didn't, so why didn't you call me that and ask me that first? Instead of yesterday causing this big ruckus. It embarrassed me. I had 5 phone calls. Are you okay? The police got you on the side of the road, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just thought it was a waste of the police department's time and money. They could have been doing something else. Second. Okay, I kind of joked when you told him you get back with him, call and make an appointment, Tammy. Well, that's what you told me when I bought the property. And I waited 2 months for you to call me back. And you, no, and do you know what you told somebody in the office, that I was a pain in the ass?
What?
Okay, that's fine.
That's right.
Oh, God, she's a pain in the ass. Every time I call, you're in a meeting.
No.
They say, hold on, Terry's in a meeting. I said, how many meetings does Greensboro have? We're not that big of a town.
How,
Terry, don't even go there. Cause I was gonna bring all y'all message book.
what did I explain to you at the time?
You told me, come in, make an appointment. I never got an appointment with you. You walked downstairs, you took
Then
copies of my
sent
property
you-
lines.
I sent you an email and said that I was back and forth.
Did you
because my-
know? I mean, y'all would pay y'all to answer your phone and
Because
return
my
phone calls
grandmother was dying, if that
For
is
2 months?
okay.
for 2 months. You was
I
dying.
had to go back and
Oh,
forth.
well, you were back. You were out of town one time, but you came back and you still didn't.
Okay, all right, I think you've made your
Well,
point.
no, I'm just saying, but don't tell residents that pay taxes, that's what we're paying in the ass. That's why we call the town.
It's not.
Okay, all right, well, well, and now, but yes, it was said.
No.
Anyway, my request that it came for, but after here, and I've never been to a meeting.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting, so I'm gonna be here every Thursday. I just wanted to comment on yours and not returning phone calls. So my request is, I want to get to the back property. I am also in the back lot behind the Family Dollar, and it's barricaded off. So I can't even turn down Wheeler Road. I have to go to the intersection, go in front of Greensboro Deli and past Roland Meadows. If I even wanted to go anywhere. But can you remove that barricade? Because I'll tell you why, if y'all know why. Was put there.
It was put there to stop the traffic because we kept having to fix the road, correct, Brandon?
There's nothing wrong with the road.
Because we stopped the traffic from cutting through
Okay,
there.
so you'd rather have accidents at the intersection than a few people, than a few local people using that road? I was told Debbie Howard requested it.
It's a private road, it's a private road, it's not a public street.
Did they request me for
And
it?
it's called Wheeler Road, isn't it?
It's a private road, it's not a public street.
Okay.
And there was damage to the road and they kept coming to the town and it had been closed once before, it was opened back up. And it caused some problems and they requested that it be
Can you
closed
tell me what
again.
problem it's caused? Because I own the property now and I can't even get to it.
You can get to it. I can get
No, I
it.
can't. It's right in front of the woods, right in front, and there's another one right at the end of my property.
The road is private and it's not yours,
Okay, so
really.
then I was told I had to pave it if I wanted it open.
It's probably an easement.
And I was told it's a public road.
It's not a public road.
Okay. And then I was told, they don't want people to, they want people, they don't want them cutting through, they won't go to the intersection. Well, so let's try to get an intersection is better than using a little side road.
All I can tell you is if you want to do something about it, you
Yeah, I
have to
do.
talk to all the neighbors on Wheeler Drive. 'cause-
There's one.
Well, there's more than one. There's
Well,
several,
that- well,
there's
that
several
road-
homes on Wheeler.
There is no homes before that barricade. There is the side of Family Dollar and the other side is the sheds.
Yeah, Wheeler goes all the way around.
Wheeler goes all the way around. And there's people that live on it.
Get to my property.
You can pull right off Main Street.
Pull off Main Street. What are you talking? You don't even know where you're at.
313. I know exactly where.
Okay, well, I'm not on Main Street. I'm on Greensboro
You're
Road.
on Greensboro Road.
Yeah, not Main Street.
Okay, well, okay.
Okay,
Greensboro
I'm
Road.
just saying.
But you have access there. There's a driveway there.
Excuse me?
You can access.
It's
the
two
property.
separate parcels. It's not all one.
I
It's
understand
two
that.
separate ones.
But what I'm
And I
trying
want
to
to
do
get
is,
to mine on,
then you need to
the
talk
other
to all
lot.
the residents on Wheeler Drive.
there's one.
No, there's more than one. That live on Wheeler Drive, because when this was discussed several months ago at a town meeting, that's why we closed it up.
It's been
So-
closed more than a couple
It
months.
has been closed several months, but what I'm
Right,
telling
you
you
said a
is,
couple months
if
ago.
you get the other people on Wheeler Drive who were all here when we had this discussion the last time, and we closed it
I
up,
mean, yeah, because
get them all in here, and if they want it open, I don't have a
I don't
problem
need to
with
get
that.
them in here.
Why did they?
Y'all did your job. This is what we paid y'all for. I really agree with you. We're paying you, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And you want me to do your job.
It's not our road.
You want me
Not our
to do your
road.
job. You
Not
want me to
our
get all the
road.
people
All right,
on wheel
all right.
drive.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
I'm paying. Listen.
I have a start for a question.
What?
On this report I
State
got,
your name and please.
Timothy Dalton, Timothy Dalton, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you.
On the report I got, and I don't know if this means it's in the water or it's just. Yeah, the cryptosporidium. And the report, it says it's in the water and that people with, following report shows the water quality, people with compromised immune systems, should seek to see if they can drink the water. The EPA, CDC guidelines, basically, anybody who has autoimmune issues, HIV, AIDS, or anything like that should, get it advised before drinking the water. So I was wondering if that is still in the water or not. So, it's right there. So I'm just asking, I don't know.
Our water quality report is monitored by the state of Maryland, and if it wasn't correct and it wasn't fit to be drink, then they wouldn't let it put it out there. So that's like that. I don't know anything about the water either. So.
Now, on the other issue, I took my tag off my Mercedes because people keep trying to steal my stickers. I've reported it, I've done things about it, nobody's doing about it. We have a theft problem in this area, we have a methamphetamine problem that the theft is a result of that. And no one's doing anything about this. So now I take my tags off my car, so my stickers don't get stolen, and then I had somebody coming and taking pictures at my house. And then trying to abate my property. Because, notice abatement, they didn't want to find, this was personal, this was after I came for the first meeting, so somebody here is doing something personal with me. And I do like to play too, so I would stop that, and I have funding and legal backing. But the idea is that as soon as I come to that meeting, now if somebody comes and takes pictures of my Mercedes, I took my tags off, so my sticker is going to be completely cut off, this half was cut off. And then I get a warning, and warning doesn't even come to me. They send it to the guy I'm renting from. When they send me my water bill, they send me everything else. And then the day that it was supposed to be paid, I get a notice that the property is going to be abated. They don't want a payment. And it's because of my car. So I put the tag back on my car. Pull my car back.
One vehicle with no tag, right?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I heard that too. But
You could have one dismantled that you're
Right.
working on, but I'm not aware of this
Mine-
particular problem.
I've never heard this.
yeah, I called my lawyer.
Yeah, so.
I did call my lawyer and he said yes, in this time of state of Maryland, in this area, I can't have one car without a tag. So that is proof that I'm being targeted and I'm being harassed. So I did, however, to appease them, put the tag back on the car and pull it to the front of the yard. It's at the point now it's harassment. I won't harass you guys. I did call once to try to get a response from her, but she doesn't call back. Karen's not lying. She does not call me back. And she's very condescending and rude too. She makes everybody in town uncomfortable. You can call me.
I don't remember. speaking
I called about my water bill twice. You're supposed to call me, but you don't call back. But that's, you know the truth, man. I'm not gonna argue with you about your work ethic.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not gonna argue with you about your work ethic. Just tighten up on it.
So, excuse me, so I'm the one that you talked to about your water bill.
And you said she was gonna call.
No,
Yes, you did. Oh,
I
yeah, you did.
did not.
We're not gonna sit here and play the lying game. You,
There is.
I'm
no
not, if you're gonna lie to me,
reason
man, if
for
you're gonna
Tammy to call you
disrespect me and my
because
IQ to lie to me. If you
you're
want me to,
disrespecting me.
ma'am, no, you want me to.
I'm telling you what
All
happened.
right,
You're lying to me. You're lying.
Please.
So yes, I did call.
So
I did.
what is the,
160.
I'm missing the point of why you're here. What
The
are you
point
trying to
is,
say?
I'm being harassed. That's the
You're
point.
being harassed. by
I'm
the
being
town?
harassed. I'm allowed to legally have a freaking car in my yard without a tag on it. And I get a notice of abatement for the property.
We will look in, we'll look in.
This is gonna stop, or I'm gonna sue the shit out of you.
Yeah, you need to stop cussing.
That's what I gotta say. If
All
it
right.
doesn't stop, I'm coming. I love you, dude, because you are.
I've never heard it.
No, you're
I've
the,
never
no,
heard that.
and this guy, you can tell he's not a flaming liberal like most of you, because this guy's a
Yeah,
good guy. He cares. He cares. You guys don't care. You roll your eyes and you're smug about it. He's a guy too. You roll your eyes and you're smug about it. But everybody knows what you're doing. And it, just like Ridgely went down the police department, the house of cards are coming down. These small towns aren't gonna get away with the good old boy stuff no more. It's over. People are smart. We have IQs and we have resourced information. Leave us alone.
Stop extorting your own citizens for profit and gain. It's evil, it's malicious, and it's as demonic as you can get.
Amen.
Have a good day, everybody.
Amen. Thank you.
Hey, Karen, I'll do it Saturday to fix your hair.
Okay, thank you.
Can I show you guys one thing real quick? Just 1 second. I mean, this was obviously, so kudos to, I think her name is Benice. I can't remember. I think it's Benice. So this actually took me by surprise. I was actually kind of shocked to even get this bill in the mail. So this is like a sidewalk tax. Final notice. I never got a first notice, but apparently this tax was over in 2021 and I got a bill for it. So I'm just letting you guys know. And again, I don't know who the department is that takes care of this stuff. But when this bill showed up, I called you guys, like, what the hell is this sidewalk tax? Obviously, you guys put in sidewalks from 2012 to 2021, and here we are 3 years later getting a bill for it. So I'm just letting you guys know, just copy the bill, if you guys want it, you guys can have it, Benice took care of it. Just letting you know, I just was a little shocked by it.
That came from the town?
Is
Yeah.
that something that,
And I actually called North Carolina County.
probably something that
There was
the people that bought the house were supposed to.
So there was a lien on Caroline County, there was like a tax lien or something on my house.
Okay.
And I called there and I'm assuming the guy that owned the house before me never paid anything or something, which is probably where that came from.
Okay, but Denise took care of it.
But he took care of it, yeah. But I just let you know, you got, because apparently I'm not the only one that got that.
Do you want?
You keep it up there.
The town.
So the sidewalk were put in years.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know that
Everybody paid their fair.
there was quite a few people that got those notices, something like.
All right. Anybody else?
I just want to say one more thing. Dawn is the only one that will return a phone call, and she's the only one that will answer her line.
All right, thank you.
Nobody else will even answer.
Sir, did you raise your hand?
I did.
Could you come up and state your name?
Certainly, mine's easy. So I'm Pastor Marvin Jenkins, pastor of the Whole Council God Church at 302 Church Street. And I'm just really inquiring about where things are with changing the billing for the water bills. I was here a month or so ago, and I was understanding that there was gonna be some progression towards reading to the charging by the actual.
There is gonna
meter
be
reading.
some, if you stay here long enough tonight, you'll find out that information, okay? Because that's on our agenda to get to,
Okay,
okay?
it's gonna eventually get to meter reading.
There's eventually gonna be, we're gonna talk about the water rates. You know,
Okay,
what the rates are gonna be, how we're gonna bill people, when we're gonna bill, all that we're gonna tackle at one time, okay? And that needs to be done July 1st is when we wanna try to have everything ready to be able to implement whatever that's gonna be.
okay,
There'll be discussions about it, there'll be a public hearing about it, so there'll be ample opportunity for you all to have your input in here.
that's gonna be tonight, you said?
I don't have the answer for you tonight, we're just gonna talk about it, okay?
They're gonna talk about scheduling of when they will introduce the new rate and then when they will have the public hearing on it.
In the meantime, I got another bill, $240 some, and again, we probably use 2 gallons of water a month. So I
That's 'cause the bill just
can't
came
quite
out.
understand this.
The bills just came out this week.
Yeah, I know.
No, he means the
It's standard.
level.
It's level usage.
It's all part of the discussion that's gonna be had between now and July.
Okay. So, and is there gonna be a public hearing, you said? A date?
Yes.
What date is that?
That's what I just said, we're gonna talk about it later tonight.
I just like to know so I can prepare for travel.
It'll be when we have that date set, we'll announce it on Facebook, on the internet and all of that, so.
Okay.
I don't have it for you right now.
Okay, I understand. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing something, that's all. Because I think there was a public hearing, I guess, at some point about the water bill months ago. And most of us didn't know anything about it. So I was trying to make sure I'm informed this time. Maybe it's my fault, I didn't know, by trying to inquire this time. 'Cause
Well, when our
we can't
lawyer
keep
gets
paying
done
this guy.
speaking tonight, you might get a better idea what time that's gonna be. Right now, I don't.
Okay, I
Well,
appreciate it.
and because this one is actually setting the rate, it will be advertised in the paper. In addition to posted just on an agenda. The last was inviting the engineer to come and give an overview of the rate, but this will actually be adopting, so there will be more notice.
Okay. Hopefully it goes to the actual usage. So people at the church that's only there once a week, they will pay. Just.
I hear you.
And again, I know I mentioned in that meeting, I don't know if you checked it, but like I said, when we purchased our church building in 2002, churches were exempt from it. So I wonder if that's gonna be addressed, going back to being exempt.
I remember that time
Yeah,
where,
it was exempt, we didn't pay any.
correct,
One reason we came to Greensboro.
correct, but then we were told by the attorney that we had at the time that that was against the law.
You had to build a fire department.
State.
I'm sorry?
I said it is.
Separation of church and state.
They actually had to build a fire department too. Anybody that had a meter. Yep. Anybody that's on the system.
Yeah, we used to give the fire department, churches, all that free water.
Right,
But then, the attorney that we had at that time told us that was against the law, that we could not do that.
other municipalities do that. So why is it only against the law here?
I don't know.
We can look into it again.
Yeah, I can't answer that, I don't know.
Okay, no problem, thank you.
Town manager.
Well, not a whole lot. We've been kind of trying to play catch up on some things. Been going through the information that, DBF sent for the new rates. I don't know that I agree with all of them, as far as what the residents have been trying to get at. I don't think they understood my request. So I'm reviewing it to see,
Did you give us a copy there? 'Cause I don't see that here. I'll see the
it should be these.
3-year average and all of that, but I'm not back in here somewhere.
But yeah, so anyway, I'm going through the numbers, so that we get one that was literally what was requested and not what they want.
I would like for you to call them back and tell them explicitly again what you want and when we need to have it by. Maybe.
Yeah, I will. I just got it last night, so that's what I've been working on with that. I've gone through some of the things in the charter articles that you guys wanted to talk over. Going through billing policies and some, suggestions that we have on how to bill, the frequency and all that stuff, so that we have that all ready for budget time.
So some of the charter items that are on the agenda later on, Tammy and I talked about them today, and we need to have a discussion with Linda before we. All right, any questions for town manager? All right, thank you. Town attorney, Linda?
We discussed earlier, but the wastewater treatment plant operator bids are due April 2nd. So far, we've received 3 requests for the RFPs. We also issued the lead line inventory RFP, which is where an engineering firm needs to come in and determine where you have lead lines within your water infrastructure and do an inventory spreadsheet, which is due to MDE October 16th. Bids for that are due April 26th. And I don't know if you want to talk about the scheduling now for budget and water and sewer rates.
Yes, please.
We might as well.
Okay, so before setting water and sewer rates and adopting and the budget, you have to have 2 weeks notice in the paper. So some of the timelines you had preliminarily discussed don't work out with getting notice in the paper by the time you send it, and it's actually posted once a week for 2 consecutive weeks.
Okay.
So you could, on May 2nd, introduce both the water and sewer rates and the budget, and then have the public hearing June 6th. Or if you wanted to do the water rates first, you could introduce water and sewer rates on April 18th with a public hearing May 16th. And then you would do your budget introduction May 2nd with adoption June 6th.
You threw a lot of dates.
I know, sorry.
So what I had talked about was that, that on April the 4th, when we announced the bids that we received for the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah.
Then we have some idea of what kind of money we're looking at to have to budget for.
Yeah,
And then I was looking to set up a workshop with the council in between that meeting and the next meeting, so that we can have a discussion about the numbers that we have received from Davis, Bowen, and Fidel, and kind of have an idea of which way we think that it would be the most appropriate for the town to introduce to the public, which way we want to go.
Mhm.
And then, that's when I was saying that the public hearing on those proposed water and sewer rates could occur on the 18th of April.
Well, they have to, it has to be introduced before your public hearing, so you have to introduce it at a meeting and then advertise 2 weeks and then have your public hearing.
So the 18th won't work.
So we would have to introduce, what I was looking for was some public feedback
Before the
on the
ordinance.
rates before we set them to introduce them. You understand what I mean?
So you wanna throw in an extra public hearing?
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you wanna do a public hearing on 4/18, not on the adopting ordinance, but just on rates.
to
and
talk
better-
about like we did the last time at the firehouse about the options that we have and which ones we think are, get some feedback from the public, since obviously there's a lot of concern about that, to get a little bit of feedback from them before we enter it, and then we can make a decision.
So, and then at your May 2nd meeting, you would introduce an ordinance with the actual fee that you're seeking to set
Yeah, we introduced the budget and the water sewer rates,
on May
The 2nd.
2nd.
and then on
And the
this,
constant yield rate,
and,
and the constant yield rate.
yes, constant yield rate and the budget and the water sewer, and on the 16th of May, we can have our public hearing for the constant yield rate and the budget.
We don't have enough time to advertise in between the 2nd and the 16th. So it would have to be
Okay.
June 6th.
So June the 6th, we would have the public hearing for the constant yield rate, the budget,
And water and sewer.
and water and sewer.
And you can adopt the same night as your public hearing.
So that would be
Or-
June the 6th.
But that would also leave you a backup meeting if you weren't ready to adopt on the 6th. You
So
could
the
close
second meeting in June is what?
the,
Second meeting in June would be.
the 20th.
Okay. And that's when we would pass the budget and the water and sewer rate and the constant yield rate.
But we want to aim for June 6th, having the public hearing and passing it that night, because your ordinances don't become effective for 20 days. And you want it to be effective prior to July 1.
Send me something. Nicole.
Okay.
But that sounds good with both rest of the country.
It gives us time to really look at it and see, like I said, get the public opinion, and I mean, Mr. Mason, I'm sure will be involved in that, and want to have his comments on it.
I would love to see it.
Pastor, did you hear that?
Yeah,
Okay.
public hearing on April 18th and then the other on June 6th. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, so I'll send out those dates, and then if you want to post them or do whatever you want, then you have them there and they're in writing and everyone can see them.
And didn't you send us something else to introduce tonight?
It's under new business.
Okay.
As a follow-up to the last meeting, I think Chief Lennox had requested the
Right.
ordinance authorizing.
Since you're on the hot seat, why don't we go ahead and do it?
Okay,
You have it?
I mean,
I do not.
you want mine?
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at ordinance 2024-02. An ordinance of the town of Greensboro to authorize the Greensboro Police Department to issue and enforce citations based on speed monitoring systems. And I look for somebody to sponsor this ordinance.
I have a question. At the last meeting, we discussed this. Is this just making it, extending the school zone temporarily to do some testing to see if it's even warranted to have a speed camera there? Or are we just skipping that part?
Oh, sorry, you wanna go ahead? So, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Lindsay. Go ahead.
So this ordinance authorizes the establishment of a school zone within 1/2 mile radius of the elementary school and authorizes you to enter into a contract for the speed monitoring camera if you want to. And it's just available for introduction. You have to have a public hearing. But it doesn't make the decision that you're actually going to have the camera. It just gives you the authority, once you adopt it, to have it if you decide to, after a study, if that's what you determine.
Okay, I read it earlier today and I just wanted clarification on that part because again, I'm not 100% on that yet. So, yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, because it doesn't, specifically authorize or say we're going to do it. It just authorizes to begin the process of considering it. And if you did want to move forward with it, then a contractor would be reached, and then they would have to set up some testing to see whether or not the cameras even warranted in the schools or not. So we're ways down the road before anything could possibly happen. All right, so Commissioner Noon has sponsored this. We don't need to vote on this, right?
So you're gonna make a motion to introduce and schedule a public hearing, and your public hearing will be the 18th, April 18th, based on timing. It's too soon to do it for your first April meeting.
All right, so I'll look for a motion to introduce the ordinance sponsored by Commissioner Noon, 2024-02. And then we'll have the public hearing on this ordinance on May the 8th.
Unless you wanna wait until the first May meeting, that's up to you.
The 18th month,
Okay.
go ahead and get it over with. You can make a motion,
Yeah, I'll make the motion
introduce the ordinance.
to introduce the ordinance. 2024-2.
Second? Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
What she said? Aye. All right, here you go. All right, what do we have? Okay, just look at it. All right,
That's all I have,
all done.
all done.
All right. Police, we don't have any police tonight, so public work.
Okay, pretty much the biggest thing I got is Fidelity came out, and they ripped that generator apart for all the cooling system and everything. And they found out that, engine, the head needs to be rebuilt and it needs the ports need to be cleaned out and everything. Which is gonna require increase of $5,000. That's getting the head rebuilt, new gaskets. The only thing I definitely don't agree with this is they got a travel expense in there of $100. They're already gonna be coming back. They've already charged us that one, the last invoice.
And what's this for?
For
The,
that generator, you guys
Oh.
approved 16 grand and now they're coming back and saying they want 5 more and I just don't approve of that.
Yeah, no, we're gonna start looking somewhere else.
so I reached out to Bill Bruce to ask them if who they use. Well, then I got into making a couple other phone calls. Fidelity service people, the service quality has gone to crack. And I like to reach out to Kelly, generators. They got people that live right here on Eastern Shore and everything.
They're
They got-
good
they got
about it. I mean,
better
I've worked with
reviews.
them before,
And,
but I don't know how expensive they are. That's the.
I mean, the problem that we've had with Fidelity, we had a generator in Goldsboro. It was going into fault, fuel loss. So they came out, because it's all supposed to be under warranty and everything. It came out, they said it was a software update. So they said they had to get a computer and upload the software. They left, week later, same exact thing. Came back. They said, oh, the software did not take it, we had to reprogram it. 2 weeks later, it does the same exact thing. This time, this guy sits out there for 8 hours. I reported it all to who I need to report it to, that I said, he came down here and he said, well, we need that computer and we don't have the computer. Well, then they find out it's a crankshaft sensor and plug going into it. That was just, everything's under warranty. So they sent us a bill, we added them up, and that, when we got them, I told Jamie, I said, I don't think that we should be paying for this. To make a long story short, after dealing with a conference call, then the very next morning, they credited us back in with $2,700.
So Lindsay, if we want to change a provider for our maintaining our equipment like this, do we need to put a bid out or we just reach out and find somebody that is?
Generally, for maintenance and services, you don't put it out to bid.
We just pick somebody that we know that is. honestly.
I would get quotes from
Right,
multiple, just to
Couple.
make sure
Get some
that you're.
bids from other people. And I'd also do a little internet search and talk to different people that have used them to find out. Anybody can give you a number.
Right.
But we just approved last month to pay these people a lot of money.
Mhm.
And I don't care if they hone and polish the heads for this damn thing. We just paid them a lot of money to fix it and we want it fixed. If it
We
means,
haven't paid
I haven't
that.
paid nothing.
We stopped it.
We stopped, we did a stop work order on everything.
we approved last month to pay them well over $16,000.
How much have we paid them?
Too many, haven't paid nothing.
Nothing. 'Cause they
Oh, no,
kept
you
jacking
did
up the
stop
prices,
and then
yeah,
did
we
it.
said no.
They gave us a proposal of $16,000 and then they came back, this, the same technician that been having issues with. He's coming back,
Before he did any work, raise the price.
well, no,
He went out there
he
and
took
looked
it
at
apart.
it, I think is what it was.
And, well, I mean, I got some pictures, there was some things, but, he had on here, we had to go through this with a fine tooth comb, because he was trying to put injectors and everything, I'm like. Yeah, we just had this thing up and going, like, I mean, there was nothing, that, it was not running rough, it wasn't running bad, it had a bad fluency. And I will say, the radiator, I did research on the actual radiator was $11,000, and it was. That's even if we went out and bought it. So.
Okay, so what do you need from us tonight?
well, if you,
I think
Shop
basically
around.
just saying that
Shop
we,
around?
yes,
Shop around.
that's,
and
We've already
letting you know that we're not going to go with this.
yeah,
Well, we've already approved to pay them $16,000.
Right.
If you've withheld the money, then you need to tell them it's been approved by the council to pay $16,000 for the repairs as quoted. Fix the damn machine. If not, then don't pay them, but then you've got to come back to us because we've already allocated the money.
Right.
But I mean,
that's all I want to make sure
yeah, I mean,
that we. can
we've
do it.
already approved to pay the money,
Mhm.
And we've had a problem with them, I mean, it's been a. Yeah,
but
situation,
they gave us a quote of what it was gonna cost to fix it. We discussed it. We didn't like it, but we approved, the council approved to pay it. So that's the money they're getting to do the work. If they have a problem with that, they can always just send their offer and we'll just go somewhere else, but.
other than that, we've been doing, we've been continuing with the parks cleanup, doing mulch, trees, had some bad windstorms and everything, so. Had a lot of, trees, our brush pickup, we ended up having 5 loads this past,
I was gonna ask you that, I know there's still a lot of branches and stuff around because of the winds that they're going through and the trees are still a lot of dead, and I don't know I know you got a lot, but I wonder if we can have another one, you know, in a couple of weeks, if you can fit it in, just so that people can help get rid of that stuff. It's kind of hard to get rid of that, you know what I mean?
March winds,
Yeah.
till we get rid of
If
the
you can
one.
fit it in and make sure we put it out there. I know, but I know you have a
yeah,
lot.
cause somebody, I guess, put out that it was bulk pickup, and I don't know who, when, but there was a lot of people putting bulk items out there, and I'm like,
They got,
But, on the rainy days where it's been raining pretty heavy, just been doing a lot of inventory, documenting everything that we have, through the entire public work. Did landscaping around, we've actually just finished today, we got done edging the sidewalks for the first time ever down by the free fishing area, and it actually looks a lot neater and clean when you come in town. Met with Dave from Underground about Jay's Mobile. So Jay's Mobile Station right across from Greensboro Elementary. He's got, wants to do the, and freezer addition, and in order to do so, the county's pretty much shut him down because they told him to hook up the public utilities in order for him to approve the addition. So, met with Dave, so that way, cause he would have to be the one to pay for it, make sure that we had an EDU, which,
Well, he would use probably what, an eighth of it.
yeah. And, but basically because it's a state highway, instead of ripping up the road, they already have a E1 that they're planning on putting in there. Then we actually had to apply for a permit for the, utility because once they hook up, we take over ownership of it. So I applied for that yesterday, just waiting to hear back from them on that, and
Are they gonna just happen to align where the school is?
Yeah, so it's 85 feet from where it's gonna tap into, just across the road, and right in that grass before the school parking lot. So there's sewer and water right there, he can tap right into it.
And he's out of town, so he'll be paying the higher rate.
Yeah. And then, of course, 211 Bowen got cleaned up.
I've seen that.
Chesapeake Maintenance, they're the ones that cleaned it up last time, and, they cleaned
So
it
the
up.
homeowner, they get billed for that, right?
Yeah, all that is on there.
For a second,
That's about it.
Okay, Mike, anything for Brandon? Thank you, Brandon. Community outreach.
I sent you guys the invitation for the after school program at the school. I think it would be extremely beneficial if you guys could attend. I know that it is a council night, and there was talks about perhaps pushing it back an hour. I think that's really important. I'm sure you guys have picked up on the fact that the citizens think you guys are not the friendliest folks, so if we could start getting you out there to prove that you are, that would be great.
Did that guy call?
I said back.
Yes, I think it's your response, so we just, if that's something, if we want to push back to 7 o'clock, that's.
Yeah, that's actually on my notes to do, when I got to it, but we can do it now, so if somebody would, if I have a problem with us changing the meeting for April 4th to 7 o'clock, we can attend it. So if somebody wanna make a motion to change the meeting on April 4th from 6 to 7,
It's like they're invited the council.
Second.
Well,
all in favor?
Aye.
Linda, you?
Bye.
All right, so make sure to be advertised that meeting will be at 7 o'clock to allow the mayor and council to attend the function at the elementary school, which is important for us to be there for.
yeah, let's make sure the website, clearly reflects the 7, but I do want to say, to address one of the comments, I did, pull the agenda from online and printed it yesterday, so it is online on the town website.
Well, I think there were a lot of comments tonight that may not be factually true. Some are, but not all.
So that's a big thing I wanted to say tonight. Christina and I have been working really hard on this autism awareness event, and I felt pretty defeated in it because we weren't getting the feedback, not from Greensboro. The Greensboro community is pretty excited about it, but from the resources that we were trying to get out there, we were really just not getting any responses. And we had a meeting on Friday, and then something happened between Friday and Tuesday, and we've got tons of people that are gonna come now. So it's looking really great, and I actually got an email yesterday with the contact from the Special Olympics that send out stuff. So we're working on that, and that is a free event for the community to attend and for the town to put on, because the fire department donated their space. Cops and Bobbers is May 4th, and it's looking pretty good. We've got Scales and Tails, DNR, police departments, a mobile fishing trailer, and all that's free for the community. And we're still working on sponsors to finish covering all that. And then after that, we've got the car show. We're 100% covered on the car show right now. We've got some pretty cool stuff happening that we can't talk about till it's signed contracts, but it's 100% covered. So that's no cost to the town, which is, as usual, our goal there. Yeah, it's working out pretty well. And then we got the date set for Whoville, and that's all. We've just been, when I say we, Brandon, because for his car show, we've been hitting up a lot of his car show contacts and things like that, and people are getting excited.
Man, can you email me that Whoville sponsor sheet?
Yeah, I will email it to you. I
So
have
I
it.
can give it
Yes,
to my boss.
yes, I will. Please remind me.
I'm impressed by their schmoozing and getting all these sponsors.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty, we've got sponsors that don't make sense to have, so it's pretty nice. Brandon's chatter has come in handy.
Can I say one thing on the parks area? Once it gets released on everything that is going, just ask, please, just make sure you guys share it and tell everybody about it, because it's gonna be big, it's gonna be exciting.
It's exciting, and just when you see what's happening, just remember that we funded it all. When you see the flyers,
And any,
Bumper squirrel.
and any proceeds goes towards the community basketball
The basketball
program
program
and
and
the
the
playground
playground.
sensory equipment,
That's
so.
where it's all going to. The town's not making any money off, well, we're making money, but it's going back to the community.
Yes,
That's where all the proceeds are going.
Before you write a check,
I'm trying to get them to, I'll get them to.
We're trying to get everybody in check. So if you guys want to donate anything, oh, also with the autism awareness event, if you or your office, your wife wants to build a basket for a silent auction, that would be cool too. No, no pressure. Just if you've got extra, bubble sensory items. Throw in a basket. Christina?
I'd just like to say again, Amanda has been so amazing with this event. And even though we weren't getting the responses that we were hoping for in the beginning, she never let me know she was stressed. I was like, are we good? Are we good? And everything is just coming together. So I hope this is an event that is informative for the community and links them with resources that we kind of have to learn how to navigate. Anybody who is dealing with neurodiversity, you don't know where to start. And so, it's like one door opens another door to another specialist to another door. So hopefully they'll get all the tools and resources they need to make the connections to help their kiddos the best way they can. So thank you so much, Amanda, and for all your hard work and for keeping it cool when it wasn't cool.
Thank you. Anything else, Amanda?
No, sir, that's it.
Anybody have a question for Amanda? Anybody from the fire department I see tonight?
No, we're just still on board.
Oh, must be old business. Anybody have anything on old business they want to talk about? No. New business, we've already talked about, back to schools, anything else, new business? All right, the town council remarks for the town charter, I told you that we need to have some conversation with our attorney about that, so.
I guess really, I want the public to know a lot of stuff that, happens in that office over there. Some of it doesn't get back to us. So when you guys come up here and speak, we're not looking at you like we don't care. This is the first time that we're hearing it also. But we do care. I mean, we do care. Chris, I appreciate you coming to the meeting.
I'm not saying you guys don't care.
I really do.
I'm not saying that, and I know a lot of people look at you guys like the devil, I get it, I did too, like in the first meeting, cause I was like, you guys are raising my water bill.
Right.
After you, what I mean, it makes you upset, but I mean, at the end of the day,
Trust me, we understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I have a family at home also.
and the perception of you guys, I agree, Amanda, you guys are like the freaking devils in town, I mean, everybody hates you, I mean, let's just face it, you guys ain't popular. But I mean, I think you guys ain't popular just simply because lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, and, people are afraid to ask questions, people are afraid they don't get answers, so they think you guys are embezzling money. I mean, your minds run wild when, you don't get answers on things and so forth, so, the minds of people, I mean, I know, I get like 50, 60 people messaging me on Messenger and stuff with these town meetings, and again, I'm not sitting here, trying to like give you guys a hard time, even though it probably seems like it, but there's more questions than answers. I mean, honestly, I look at like some of these budget things, I look at like what's going on, and I look at like, what are we doing to fix water leaks? I look at like, again, I don't run the town. I mean, I run big projects. I don't really have time to run a town. I mean, I would if I had to, but I can tell you this right now, like, there's just so many things that don't make sense. I mean, honestly, it's actually mind blowing.
Well, and I'm gonna speak up, and like you said before, a lot of these problems have gone from way back from other administrations of neglect.
Yeah, snowball.
So
effect.
it's all finally climbing uphill, and guess what? We're the ones catching all the flack for it.
Oh, I
We're
know.
trying to mediate those things little by little, but like you said, funding, getting grants, those type of things, all takes time. Because once the new governor took over, remember that stopped some of that funding. They just cut it right off, and we were like, we're not getting this. because we applied for the I&I stuff.
Yeah, you're talking about Hogan,
No.
the new governor.
The
The
new
new
governor.
Yeah, I know, I called
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, you know? And like you said, we live in a small town, our budget's not Annapolis, Easton, all those Cambridge areas, so I agree. I mean, we live in this town, all of us live in this town, we have to pay the same thing that you're paying the water rates.
him. Well, the other thing is too, is I think there's a big misconception, you know, to what the attorney's saying. Is, you know, it's good to have a meeting about, you know, these new rates and whatnot, because I think. Some people, again, they're not quite understanding, but if you go to a standardized billing system, you go to individuals, and I've spoken on the path. Everybody has their own water meter, they start using it. I think some people are gonna be pretty shocked how much water they actually use versus the standardized billing. And, you know, people are complaining now, once people see how much water they actually use versus what they are getting a standardized billing for, they might be a little shocked. And then you're gonna have people here 4 months from now bitching and complaining, sorry to my language. Yeah, can we go back to that?
Chris, I've run the numbers for those, and there's a lot of people, be careful what you ask for.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's the dichotomy that we face, is trying to be fair and equitable and even for everybody.
I think it's
Because
hard.
for everybody that goes down, somebody is going up.
Yeah, correct. And the thing is too, though, like when you look at the original billing, like for the water treatment facility, like all the billing and stuff like that, you know. The proposals to gain that revenue, you know, to like $114,000 or whatever it was. And we're dropping from 12,000 gallon standard, you know, down to a 10,000 gallon standard. And then anything over that's charged the extra rate. I get it, more revenue and things like that. Hopefully with the grant, the $5 million grant, whatever we're doing upgrades wise or whatever. Hopefully at some point in time, these upgrades, hopefully sooner than later, start making things go down. And I understand what you're saying about the expansion north, we're locked in, all this crap and everything else. You know, Henderson, Goldsboro, all that stuff. I mean, I'm not an attorney, but absolute dead weight. If you look at the numbers even, they're just dead weight.
Well, I think.
I don't understand why we carry them.
Well, I think those decisions were made at a time when we needed a plan upgrade and they needed something because they were jammed up and it served everybody's interest and it was the only way we could do it.
You also need to reassess their rates.
Yeah, and that should be done annually anyway.
Well,
So we'll have a public hearing at Goldsboro too.
well, yeah.
Well, my question is,
Christie and I were gonna.
yeah, and
talk
my
about
question
that.
is. I don't see anybody from Goldsboro or Henderson here.
They never come to our meeting. You know, if it hadn't been for this water bill thing, we would be looking at that gentleman and Miss Terry. Because our meetings maybe have 3, 4 people in them.
And like you
So
said,
until this all got stirred up, at least now we've got public feedback. People are actually coming in here. We're having public hearings.
if you're getting all these people on Messenger messaging you,
That's great.
then when we have our meeting, you could tell them, come to the meeting so
I
that you
get
can actually
upset,
understand.
I get upset because I tell people to show up, you know.
Right.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
have brought the most people in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
Good or bad, you're the
Yeah,
only
good.
one.
I mean, it might be a headache for you.
You know, we're the bad guy, but sometimes you're a bad guy too.
I wear that hat proudly at work all day.
Right.
You know, Chris, we all appreciate the fact that
Take care.
you have
Care,
care, you brought it all up, but we do too. This is a part-time job for the council because, you know, I am, because I'm retired. So I go in there as much as I can during the day. But for the rest of the council, they have to find time to go in there when they get off work on the full-time job. So, you know, if there are complaints or issues with our employees, then there's a complaint process. And the citizens should file a complaint so it can be properly investigated. And the only way to do that is put it in writing, because whatever, you know, what somebody says isn't
I
necessary.
mean, you're not gonna make
And
everybody happy.
I know that, but that's part of the problem. Is so much, and it's not happening just in Greensboro. It's everywhere. There's so much misinformation out there on social media. And once it gets out there, everybody believes it. And it's hard for us to sit and look at that when we know a lot of it is just not so. So that lady sat right there tonight and said that we're looking to hire another person. That's not true. We have had zero discussion about filling a position, hiring another person. Don't know where in the world that comes from.
I mean,
And I agree. And I wanna say, I just have to say that we care so much, like, it's gonna keep me up all night. I have a list of things that Tammy gets stuck with me every day after the meeting where I go, look, this is what they said. Please break that down because now I think that they're.
I mean, you're on the Talk of the Town page,
and it's crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
you see the shit that's on.
Yeah,
there.
and I tried to, I tried to be like, hey, I'm here, and I know that that's not true, and then I get attacked for taking it personally, and I'm just like, I give up.
And I'm on it too, so I see some of the things
The rest
too.
of us see it, but we don't engage in conversation on it because it's a no-win situation. No matter
Yeah.
what we say, how we respond, it's just not gonna come out the right way. So we just look at it. And then when I see it, first thing the next day, I come right in town. And I never ask.
Yes.
I'll see someone talk to town, I'll go, they
I mean,
will get in the morning.
What's going on here? Somebody yesterday accused us of ripping their mail open because they got mail ripped up in their mail. How is that our fault?
Yeah, ours was open when it came through.
We're getting way off track.
Yeah, I mean, again, when, like, the whole thing with the numbers and stuff, like the budget for the police and all this kind of stuff, I think they're absolutely insane. You're giving $60,000 donation to the fire department. I don't know if there's been a fire in town.
It's not really a $60,000 donation, it's a budget item, but their water bill and everything comes out of that. Any of their expenses that they generate, that we pay for, it all gets deducted from that. And
A lot of that,
they get
money-
whatever's
a lot of
left.
that, we were able to give them more money the past couple of years because of the ARPA funds. We won't be able to continue to do that. But we had that extra money, so, you know, they certainly provided needed service for us, so we're trying to help them back, you know, as best as we can. And, but again, like I said, I am confident that there's nobody works in that town office that doesn't care. They care. Do they make mistakes? Absolutely, because none of us are perfect. Are they trying? Yes, they are. Are we working to try to make them better? Yes, we are. Do we try to give them training? Yes, we do. So we're trying. The council cares. You know, if you see our faces up here, we're rolling our eyes. We're not rolling our eyes. We're like, sometimes it's just, we're upset because of what people are saying about it.
Well,
I can't imagine being Donald Trump or the president of the United States.
Yeah, so
How'd they deal with
to be what Joe said, you know, just a generalization, we gotta figure out how to say this. About not knowing what's going on all the time, you know, you guys just come here, you guys don't know what's going on, so that. If I said that at my work, I'd be fired, because I'm the boss. And if I don't know what's going on a $30 million Navy project, I don't have an answer for the Navy, I'd be fired, like, straight up. So, comparing apples to whatever, oranges, whatever, it doesn't matter. Town council, the mayor, I mean, when I grew up, the mayor knew everything in town, he was like the head cheese, I got the numbers for your guys' salaries, not your guys' necessarily, but some of these other people. And it's mind blowing, honestly. I mean, I don't know if I believe it, you know, but.
Well, did you know that, so I'm the head chief, did you know that I don't even get to vote? These folks make the decisions, I only vote if there's a tie. So I really have less power than they have.
He gets to set the agenda.
But anyway, we're way off topic.
Yeah, way off topic.
And go to the town office.
The only thing that I would, you encourage your friends when they come to the meeting is to at least be respectful. We can't have an honest and open discussion if people are talking over one another, cursing, getting loud, getting mad. That doesn't solve anybody's problems. And my grandmother once told me you get a whole lot more with sugar than you do with vinegar, you know? So, you know, we're trying to be respectful to the public. We just ask that in exchange, that's all. If there's a problem that we can fix, let us know. We'll try to work on it.
I think there definitely needs to be on your guys' behalf, and like, obviously you guys work and, you know, you guys have lives and all that kind of stuff. Maybe there needs to be more of a meet and greet thing with the community. I don't know how to get the community more involved with something.
We've had meet and greet.
And I buy 2 packs of cookies and we eat them all.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
it's,
Most of the time, it's
I
the
mean,
families.
I don't understand it, cause I mean, I see everybody on the page and talk the town page, all
And
this
you
kind
would
of
think
stuff.
that people would show
Everybody
up.
bitches and complains and does this and says this and everything else, but nobody shows up here.
But it's easy to be a keyboard bully.
It drives me nuts. I mean, honestly, cause like I said, I got 50, 60 people messaging my messenger, but they won't show up at a meeting.
Right.
Like tonight, we'll go home to eat dinner and his phone will be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, like, what happened to tell me? Well, why didn't you show up and find out? Like,
Right.
like
What do you have
nonstop.
for dinner? Because I haven't eaten yet either.
Yes, sir.
One thing, 'cause you make some good points, he made a good point. One way I think to maybe show the community involvement is when you have big events like the car show, you also have a table or a booth or something. You all should be in the booth. You know, be in the booth at the car show.
Like a dumping
Dump.
booth?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, see,
You
we
can
could-
maybe ask them.
That's a good suggestion, but there's a couple things that people don't realize.
What's that?
Government moves slower than a snail.
Well,
In the private sector, you get something done and you tell your worker bee, I want this done. If it don't get done tomorrow, you're fired. With us, when we try to get things done, it takes months to get things done because we have to follow the regulations and the guidelines. And secondarily, you need to know, Pastor, that if we were in a booth and if there's three of us there, it constitutes a quorum, according to the state. So any business we would engage with you about town business would be illegal because they consider it.
no, I wouldn't say business, but business.
But if they came up to us and said, oh, Mayor, what do you think about the water and sewer rate? If I started answering that, and there are three of us in there, we're in violation of the Open Meetings Act.
I'm just saying, be there, eat hot dogs, hamburgers.
I agree.
That's what I was saying, not.
But most of the bar individuals, you have seen it.
We've all been in
I've been in
Whoville,
there sweating, cooking them french
the
fries.
fishing derbies, we all go to all those.
So we're there, you just might not
I
see us.
think that what we need to do is get a mayor or a council shirt so people know your faces, because if they're not attending, they don't know who you are.
You know, when I was a police chief, I started Coffee with a Cop years ago. People like it now. And it took a while for it to get going, but eventually people came out and met with me and with my officers, and there was that interaction because, you know, people have different perceptions and ideas about police. So you were able to sit and talk to them in a safe environment that's, you know, safe for everybody. So maybe you could do that with some of the council but it's a little different guidelines when you get freedom. So all those are good thoughts.
Just don't get us goofy. It's just.
And- You're definitely getting good hats, and I just wanna say that when Joe said he didn't know what was going on, I think he just meant about if you had a complaint, because Joe is actively involved. Often, there's not a single time that I have needed to reach out to him, or he didn't know what was going on with anything that myself or anybody else was working on. So I just wanted to say, I think that was about, if you have a complaint, you gotta come here and voice it, because that's how it is.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, I try to go into the town office often during the week and they get tired of seeing me. But, you know, we hire them to run the town and we need to be able to trust that they're running the town and doing a good job. And if they don't, then we should say something to them. This is why we go in there and try to do it. But that doesn't mean I can explain to you how the water and sewer rate billing goes though, because I don't know. I ask, I try to educate myself, but unless you're actually joining on the computer and understand the software and how it works, it's hard for me to explain it to the general public, but we're working on it, and we all gotta go home, so I'm gonna shut up.
And I would like to say something. I am glad that you come to the meetings, Mr. Mason, and it's never going to upset me for anyone to challenge or question. I think that that's great. As a matter of fact, that was me a few years ago. The council had to listen to me quite often and they didn't necessarily like it sometimes, but just as I was there, now I'm on the other side of it trying to make a difference. And what I don't necessarily enjoy is being bombarded or blamed for decisions that I was not actively involved in and that we had to endorse as a town and I often challenged on. So, I mean, I would for you to have the opportunity to get to know me as a person, get to know what my views are and how I would like to see the town to go, and not paint all of us under this umbrella. Take the time to get to know us. We're available. I'm right around the street. I'm always out. And anything you want to know from me, I'm happy to tell and share.
Right. Thank you, Christina. And one last thing for the council, that Tammy gave you this literature here about the water sewer and building recommendation. I just want you to, we've had some conversations about this. And this is something we're going to need to discuss when we have our workshop. So I just wanted you to be giving some thought about how we do the billing process and those kinds of things and grace periods and all of that before billing also.
And that was after meeting with employees to see what everybody's opinion was, and that's what we narrowed it down to. So, I mean, it's not anything
Not set in
concrete.
stone, it's just.
Correct.
Last call. Motion to adjourn,
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So these are being-
No, I